What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first remote Zoom 2-minute warning episode. As you can tell, we're clearly not together right now. Why is that, Tommy? Are you on the field somewhere? Are you like reporting on like a game or something?
No, I mean we're both off. We're off at college right now, so we can't be together.
But we gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going. Exactly. It's for you guys. That's who it's for. So yeah, welcome to our first remote episode. Right here, right now in my little dorm with my A's bobbleheads, my A's hat, my Saints hat. Even though still gonna root for the Saints. We'll talk about that later. We got my Kraken hat right here. My Shohei souvenir cup from when I went to the Angels game. Of course, my Steph Curry bobblehead, and then the Alvin Kamara pop Funko Pop that Tommy got me, of course. And the most important thing that I was showing Tommy earlier. Look at this, guys. Come on now.
The best pillow I've ever seen.
Ohtani pillow. Literally majestic. Like, wow. His face is just plastered all over.
It's everywhere. We show him the back.
The back. It's literally it's his face again. It's just his face. It's literally just his face. But yeah, it's pretty much the setup right now. Yeah. Tommy, of course, has his very
got my A's stuff back here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
There's a lamp.
There's a lamp.
There's a lamp right there.
And of course, we had to keep this going for you guys. So of course we're gonna keep going in this remote setting for now. But yeah, we're gonna start off today. Tommy, the NFL season is about to start this week. This is not crazy.
That's right.
Like I feel like
it
hasn't even been that long, and it's starting back up.
Yeah, because I think with the NBA and like the MLB kind of coming back, it seems, and we haven't had a break from sports since like COVID, so it's been nice and it hasn't felt so long as it did before.
So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna talk about the Thursday matchup, right? Opening night preview, Cowboys versus Bucks. Just 2 minutes on our thoughts on that. And yeah, I mean, we could both do like a timer both on our end so we know when it's up. But
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Set that up. Let me know when you're ready.
All right.
We're gonna do 2 minutes on the Cowboys versus the Bucks this Thursday. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So, I mean, the NFC East has always been, yes, maybe the Cowboys are gonna win this season. Maybe the football team's gonna win this season, right? But is this opening night matchup more like, do we think the Bucks are gonna repeat? Like, do we think they're the favorites to repeat? I feel like that's what we're kind of watching for on Thursday.
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers are probably the favorite to win this. I think everyone has the Buccaneers like going deep in the playoffs and being the best team in the NFC for good reason, because nothing changed and they won the Super Bowl last year. The Cowboys had a lot of injuries last year, so they're coming in trying to like reinvent themselves and because we know how stacked the offense is, but can the defense play up to what the offense can produce?
I think I just think that the Buccaneers have such a talented offense from what we've seen like the past season. It's just like I don't know if like being like knowing that division, I think they'll win the division this season just because the Saints aren't even a big factor anymore. Like no one else is a big factor. I think they're going to win that division, but just in general, I think the Bucks have a very complete roster. I think that's like what you can use to describe it, like very complete, right?
Yeah, they just Like the quarterback is one of the best in football. Their receivers, the entire offense is top 10. You could argue top 5, and the defense is the exact same thing. Like there's not many teams that are like top 10 in both offense and defense don't do well in the NFL.
Yeah,
like they're going to be one of the teams.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, that's 2 minutes. But what do we think about the Cowboys though? Like, do you think they have a shot, or?
I think as long as their offense stays healthy throughout the whole season, they will be competitive. But unless the defense gets better, I don't see them being a real threat in the NFC. That's my thing.
Okay, cool. So that's the 2 minutes on the opening night preview. What do we have? Just give me like a score. I'll say Bucks 35-17.
Okay. I think it's being an offensive game. I'm gonna make it a little closer and say 27-24 Bucks.
Okay.
Maybe a little closer game. A little bigger action.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Tommy, I think you have the next topic on hand.
That's right. The next topic we're gonna do is our over/under wins predictions. So we have the Vegas odds for over/under wins, and we're going to go through the list of the AFC first for 2 minutes, and then we'll go over the NFC. It'll just be pretty quick. We'll just say the team, say the win total, and me and Theo will just say over or under. Not really giving kind of short explanation or just saying what we feel.
2 minutes for the AFC, the whole AFC?
Yep.
Sure.
I'll start from. You want me to start from the top or the bottom of the AFC?
Let's go bottom.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start from the bottom. 2 minutes. Here we go. Now. So let's start with the Houston Texans over under 4 wins.
Unless they figure out the Deshaun Watson situation, I trust Tyrod Taylor to get 4 wins. But I just don't know the situation quite fully, so I think I'll go under for that one.
I'm gonna say under. I think the Texans will be the worst team in the AFC.
Okay.
All right, New York Jets over under 6 wins.
Ooh, I have nothing to say that the Jets are gonna get 6 wins, so I'm gonna go under for that one as well.
Yeah, I got to see more from Zach Wilson before I say they're a 6-win team under. All right, next, the Cincinnati Bengals, over under 6.5.
I'll go over. I think they have a very talented wide receiver core. I mean, right? And then Joe Burrow coming back from his injury. I think they'll get more than 6.5 wins. Maybe even push a wild card spot, possibly. I hope, but I don't. I think the AFC is too stacked.
Yeah, I think that division's really stacked too in the North. So I think I'm going to say under only because they got too much competition in their division for them to be to have that many wins.
Yeah.
All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars 6.5.
I learned to not doubt Trevor Lawrence when he was playing in college, but also the loss of ETN is a big deal to me, even though, Robinson's there. I feel like that would have been a very good running back core. I'll go under.
I kind of like Jacksonville to be a surprise team this year, but I'm also say under. I don't know anything about the defense, and I don't think they're going to perform that well.
Yeah.
All right,
that's time, but we can keep going.
All right, Las Vegas Raiders 7 wins.
This is the tough one where you're do we want to see the Raiders win, right? Because it's I feel like the Raiders. I don't know, man. You said 7.
7. I think it's pretty low compared to some of these other teams, but still.
I'll go over. But if Derek Carr doesn't get over that threshold, I think he's done for.
Yeah.
How about that?
I'm gonna say under.
Okay. 7 under 7.
I think they're going to be a 6-win team or a 5-win team. I just don't see the defense is not going to be good. And I don't trust Derek Carr enough to like propel the offense.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Do that. I just don't see it this year. And I think it'll, after the collapses in the past 2 years, being good and then finishing terrible.
No, like actually, it doesn't sound promising.
All right. Next, the Denver Broncos, 8.5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And is it Teddy? Who's their start? No.
Teddy was announced.
Teddy's their starter. Is it 7.5?
8.5.
8.5. We'll go under. I feel like I honestly think, since I said over for the Raiders, I think the Raiders will get more wins than the Broncos. Maybe not be competitive, but get more wins than the Broncos. So under.
I'm gonna say under too. I think the Broncos and Raiders are pretty evenly matched in that regard.
Yeah.
All right. Next team is the Pittsburgh Steelers, over under 8.5.
We'll go.
Are they going to be a winning team this year?
We'll go over. Well, I don't have an explanation for it, but I'll say over.
Okay. I think they're going to be. Oh, I think they're over too.
I need Najee Harris to do good for fantasy point of view, but we'll go over.
Yeah, I'm going to say over too. I think they're going to be just over, not great like they were last year, just over 8.5.
Yeah.
About 9 or 10 wins. Yeah. All right, next team is the Indianapolis Colts, over under 9.
And who's their quarterback?
Carson Wentz is their quarterback.
Under.
Why?
I think that their defense is going to carry them, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So maybe 8. Their defense is good.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's going to carry them. I have to see how Carson Wentz fits that offense first before I have some faith in that team.
I'm going to say over, only because I think their division is so garbage, and I have them.
That's true.
I have them winning the division, so I think they will be a winning team this year. So that's why I have them over. The defense is the best in the division, and that usually equates to being really good. And I think Carson Wentz, he's back with Frank Reich, who was his offensive coordinator with the Eagles when he was almost the MVP. So I think that it's the connection there is going to help him maybe not be what he once was, but be good enough.
Yeah.
To handle that off.
That makes sense.
That has a great run.
Yeah. All right.
Next. Then the Titans, 9.
Come on. Over.
Where am I on this team? I'm right around, I think they're going to be right around 9 wins. So it's hard for me to say over under, but I'm going to say over.
I think it's tough to tell with the new 16 game schedule. Just with a game added is a big deal. So maybe.
Yeah. But I think they're 9-10 wins. So I'd say over there. All right. Next, the Miami Dolphins, 9.5.
Wow.
That's another tough one.
Wow. Tua's always been someone that I'm I really want this guy to do good. And I'm going to keep that same energy this season and say over. Or around that ballpark.
I'm going to say over too. I like the Dolphins this year. I think the whole unit is really complete. Not super complete, but if Tua has a career year, they could be one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that's holding them back, in my opinion.
Sure.
Is just Tua. All right. Chargers, 9.5.
So this is one that I we'll talk about. I feel like I'll talk about this more later, but I think the Chargers are like a pretty sleeper team for me, at least. So I have them going over that. I don't think they'll win the division, but I think they'll give the Chiefs something to play for.
Okay.
Over.
I also I like the Chargers too. I have them over. I think they're going to be like an 11-win team. Like they're going to make the playoffs and make some noise. I think so. Herbert's going to have a great second year.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Right. Yeah.
Now the Patriots at 9.5.
Under. I mean,
I don't know.
This is like, okay, well, we'll get to this like later, but let me just make a comparison with the Lakers, right? I think the Patriots had a great offseason. They added so many guys. Bill Belichick went into win now mode, but like putting a quarterback like Mac Jones rookie season, expecting him to take the Patriots to what? 9.5?
9.5. So to be over, they'd have to win 10 games.
Yeah. Under.
Big number. Yeah. I think they're going to be good and competitive, but I don't see Mac Jones like being this incredible rookie and like taking him to the playoffs. I just don't see it yet.
No. Under.
So I'd say under too. All right. There's only 4 teams left. All right.
So you're telling me there's only 4 teams that are better than the Patriots in the AFC? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
There are only 4.
Yeah. So
the next one is the next one's the Cleveland Browns at 10.5.
Was waiting for this one.
10.
Over.
I'm over too.
Going all in on the Browns this season.
Mm-hmm. How many wins do you think they're gonna get?
I think 12. I'll say 12, maybe 13.
I'm like 13. I think 13 is a good number for this team. I think they're just complete.
Yeah. I want to know what the Ravens is because I think I have the Browns over the Ravens this season.
I do too. I think the Browns will win the division and they will be one of the top teams in the AFC. And that's no slight to the Ravens. I think the Ravens are really good too, but I just think it's time for the Browns.
The Browns have been developing this for years. I think it's, you know, the Ravens have just been that like steady team. Like no shot to them, but like it's just like the Browns are on the rise and the Ravens are just like very flat.
Yeah. But I could see the Ravens in the playoffs making like a big push.
Yeah. They're always a playoff team to me.
Yeah. Next is the Bills. I'll say these 2 teams, the Bills and the Ravens, are both at 11 wins. Over under. This one should be
over.
I'd say for both of them over too.
The Bills are going to win their division. The Ravens probably going to be a wild card team. It's just those 2 teams are really close. Yeah.
And then lastly, the Kansas City Chiefs at 12.5.
Over, but maybe not by that much. Maybe like 13, 14 wins.
That's fair. I'd say that. I don't think they're going to really try to like have
but like I said,
a bunch of wins.
Like I said, like I want to see what happens in those 2 Chargers-Chiefs games where it's like competitive, like I definitely think the Chargers could give the Chiefs a run for their money.
I think the Chargers will get at least 1 game out of the Chiefs this year.
Of course. For sure. I think so. They could get both. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now
that's our 2 minutes.
We went over. Let's just go right into the NFC. All right, you want me to start from the top in the NFC, or do you want me to go again from the bottom?
We'll go from the bottom again.
All right, starting with the Detroit Lions, 4.5.
Over. I think.
Wow.
I think. This is my projection, okay? They're not a playoff team, but they're also not a garbage team with Jared Goff, right? I think a change in the system could actually help the Lions. They've never been like a team like the past like maybe 5 seasons. They haven't been the team that's like to watch out for. But I'm not saying they're to watch out for. I'm just saying like, let's see what Jared Goff does. Over.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to say under. I think that they are going to be competitive in a lot of their games, but I just don't see them winning them. If that makes sense. Like they're going to be competitive in like all of their games and they're going to have a shot to win some of these games, but they're going to end up as a 4-win team or something like that. I'm going to say under.
Cool.
All right. Next up is the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, it's a shock that they're at 6.5.
Under.
Yeah, I don't think that's too high. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams, and not because of like their roster. I just don't see them playing that well.
I think the only person to watch with the Eagles is Devontae Smith, and that's pretty much it. Like there's and that's saying a lot because that's a rookie. So if the person that I have to watch on your team is a rookie, you're not getting more than 4 wins.
No, and they were a 3-win, or how many? They were not a good team last year.
God, someone please fix the NFC East.
It's bad. And here comes another team.
The Giants.
Right after you said that, the New York Giants. Where do you think their number is?
If the Eagles were 6.5, then the Giants are probably like what, 7?
Yeah, they're 7.
Under.
Over.
Fuck. They're not even gonna get like Saquon for like the first maybe 3 games. I don't know like what his status is, but that's just my prediction. If that's like in the question, then that's definitely not. They're not getting 7 wins. So
Danny Dimes though. Just kidding.
No.
I think they could be really good, but I think Daniel Jones isn't the answer to their problems. Like they need to, if they get a solid quarterback, like imagine if that team had Ryan Fitzpatrick though. Someone like that. Like
exactly.
They could be pretty good. Like they could be a decent team, but I just don't see it this year. All right. Next is the Atlanta Falcons, 7.5.
Under.
I'm under 2. I think it's a tank year.
They were already tanking last year and they had Julio and now they lost Julio. So what else do you have to play for? That's another team. That's another team where it's like the player that you have to watch is Kyle Pitts, right? And that's like another rookie. Like Calvin Ridley's gonna go off. Like who else is gonna it's him and Pitts, right? Who's their running back? I don't even know.
Mike Davis.
I mean.
They're going to be they're another team that can be competitive in all their games, but they're not going to win them because they don't have a good defense either.
I do want to see like a comeback year from Matt Ryan, but that's like a stretch. Not that I'm like rooting against Matt Ryan. It's like
he's either going to retire or get traded after this season. I think it's his time to move on. All right, now the Carolina Panthers and the Bears both are at 7.5.
Okay, we'll start with the Panthers. We'll go under, but I see them maybe cracking that 7.5. And then moving on to the Bears until they name Justin Fields their starter, because they're very adamant about Andy Dalton being their starter. Under.
All right. I'm going to say I think Fields will get on the field sooner than later. And if he's not, then that means Andy Dalton is doing something good.
Yeah.
So if Andy Dalton's still the quarterback by the end of the year,
exactly.
The Bears are doing something good.
Yeah. You must be doing something good if Justin Fields is right there on the bench, to me, at least.
And you're not putting him in the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Bears over. They're going to be like an 8-9 win team this year. They'll be right around there, I think. And then the Panthers, I'm also going to say under. They'll be like a 6 or 7 win team. But I think 7.5's a good
they could crack it
number for both of those teams.
Let's hope Christian McCaffrey doesn't get hurt, just for the sake of the league.
Yeah. We need to see CMC eat like he did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
All right. Next team in the NFC is the Washington football team at 8.5.
Over.
I'm over 2 on this team. This
team will come back like later in the discussion, but the fact that I haven't heard the Cowboys yet and you're mentioning the football team, over.
That's what I'm shocked that people are so high on the Cowboys.
Come on now.
The football team won the division last year.
Yeah.
Upgraded it.
Upgraded at quarterback. Yeah. Like what? Exactly. Fitz magic is about to happen in Washington, people. Mark my words.
Yeah. And they got good receivers, good run game, and top 10 defense.
Exactly.
They are going to be a surprise team this year. Even though they won the division last year, like people are going to be shocked at how good they are.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Next is the Cardinals at 8.5.
Wow. Over.
Oh, you think it's low on them?
Wait, seriously?
Well, if I'm doing the math correctly, the Cardinals would be the 4th seed in the NFC West, according to this. Yes.
I remember having this conversation with Andy where we literally like looked at each of the NFC West's schedules, and I think I had the Cardinals getting like 9 wins or 10 wins or something like that. So over, but they might be still last in their division. Maybe it's a very competitive division.
It is. I think Kyler Murray's going to have a great year this year, but I think 8.5 is a good number because I could see them going 9, but I could also see them like going 8.
Yeah.
But like just because their division is so competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say under.
Under.
I think they're an 8-win team, but I could see them 9-10 wins. It wouldn't be shocking.
I haven't heard. Give me the next team.
I don't think you're gonna like this. The Vikings are at 9. 9 wins.
Interesting.
Says. Okay. I don't know why people are so high on the Vikings. Because Kirk Cousins is gonna play.
The Vikings are not gonna do better than the Bears. No. But what did I say for the Bears? Did I say under? Freak.
I think you said. I think we both. They're 7.5.
Okay, so here's the thing: the Vikings are not gonna do better than the Bears. That's just what I'm gonna. So under.
I agree. I'm gonna say under too. I think they're actually gonna have like a bad season.
Wow, wow, that's crazy. They put them over the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then next is the Cowboys, also at 9 wins. This is a tough one.
So 9 wins puts them winning more than losing.
Yes, 9 and
they're saying
8.
that the Cowboys are going to be an over 500 team.
Yes. Do you agree with that statement?
We can. I'll say under, and I'll flip it and say they could go at best 8 and 9. It was that. Wait, is it? No, it's not. It's 16 games, right?
No, it's 17.
It's 17 now. Okay.
They added more. Yeah, it's 17.
Yeah, but then they get a bye, so it's 16
9
games.
No, it's 18-week seasons.
Oh, okay, no. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Under.
Okay, I'm gonna say 9 is tough because I think at 9 and 8 is probably where they are gonna. Be.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna say over just because they're gonna win at least 4 games in their division this year.
For me, it's hard to root.
Not lose to the Giants.
Yeah, it's hard to root against Dak Prescott. But you know, if he stays healthy, is the thing.
Mm-hmm. I think if he does, he's gonna have a great year.
Yeah.
So I hope he does stay on the field.
And here's the thing with the Cowboys, right? Like I was gonna bring this up during the first topic. Like their X factor this season is CD Lamb. If CD Lamb does good, the Cowboys do good. If CD Lamb doesn't do good, the Cowboys don't. I think that's their biggest X factor this season. Like sure, they have Amari Cooper, right? Like they have who else do they have? Oh my God, I'm forgetting.
Gallup, Zeke.
Yeah, right. So they have all these other like players, but I think it's CeeDee Lamb that's going to have to step it up.
If he steps up, they will have like the best receiving core in football.
Yeah.
If he like takes a big step, which people are projecting. All right. Next is the New Orleans Saints at 9.
Kind of want you to go first for this one.
I think they are a 9-win team. So, but I'm gonna say under, but I think they're a 9-win team. I think it's more likely for them to finish under 500 than over. I think.
I agree with that.
I would say.
Like, this is coming from a Saints fan. 9 wins, tough task, right? But also coming from a Saints fan, I've seen Jamie's like work. You know, like he's been waiting for this moment, and I think that he could lead the team to like 11 wins at most, like maybe even more. But like, we'll put the ceiling at 11, so I'll have to go over. But I won't be surprised if they win like 5 games in the season. Like that's there's a really big question mark with the Saints this season that I'm very interested as a fan to see what happens.
Can Jameis Winston like be the leader that they need?
Yeah, and Michael Thomas is probably out for another 4-5 weeks.
You could still get traded.
Yeah, so it's very, very big question marks there. But, you know, I project another breakout season for Alvin Kamara. Because, like, who else?
Next. Oh, yeah. There's no one else. Because who else? Well, Taysom.
Yeah. Well, Taysom's Taysom. He's always there, right? But
yeah. All right. Seahawks 10.
Ooh. Interesting. I think that. Well, let me ask you this, right? Like, I feel like it has to be asked: who's winning the NFC West? Right?
You want to ask me? Is this like rhetorical? You want me to actually answer it?
Well, it's like, do you think the Seahawks are going to win the NFC West, or do you think the Rams are? Do you think the Niners are? Because like, we can talk about this later, but right now you said 10.
10 wins.
I'm going over. I'm going over 10 wins. I think
I'm going under.
I think that
now you can.
You know, I don't know if I don't think that Russell Wilson's going to duplicate his MVP caliber season last season, but I think the Seahawks have always been a competitive team that will get more than 10 wins. But also won't be surprised if they're like overwhelmed by their own division, right? Because I feel like the division hasn't been this competitive. I mean, it was last season, but I think it's even more competitive now. So
yeah,
it's very interesting.
I think I'm going to say under, because I think this is the worst team in the division.
Interesting.
In my opinion, I think they have the worst. I think, and it's because I think they have the worst defense in the division.
They do have the worst defense in the division. They also have the worst O-line in the division.
Yeah, like there's too many of the worst.
Yeah.
And like even though Russell Wilson is the best quarterback, and you could argue that they have the best weapons on offense with DK, Lockett, and even Chris Carson. But I just think as a complete unit, the Rams offense is better. You could argue that the Cardinals offense, if Kyler Murray breaks out again, could be better. And even the 49ers, even with Garoppolo, under Kyle Shanahan, could be better. But
like, here's the thing, it's always hard to root against the Seahawks. Like, I'm not even saying this as like a Niner fan. I'm just like it's always hard to be like, oh, the Seahawks aren't going to do good, because they always like prove people wrong, and they're like, they always come out like they may not perform in the playoffs, which is the stigma around the Seahawks, where like they're not going to do good because they don't do good in the playoffs. They're a good regular season team to me, right? That you would see every year. Okay. But maybe 10 is a good ballpark number. Maybe 9, maybe 11. 10 is a good number.
I think 10 is a good number for the over-under, but I think I wouldn't be shocked if this team was under 500. And even though they're going to be competitive, it's going to be tough for them to win games in their own division. Mm-hmm. And that's not a good sign.
So here's the thing, right? Like, why? I don't know why the Cardinals were placed that low in that whole ranking thing, because for all we could know, there could be 3 teams coming out of the NFC West into the playoffs, right? It could be Niners, Rams, Cardinals. Could be Niners, Rams, Seahawks. Like, I definitely think there's going to be 3. It could be 4.
It could be 4.
It could be 4.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 is like my number. Like, I definitely think 3 will make it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next is the Packers are also at 10.
Over.
I'm going to say over too. They're going to be right where they were last.
I feel like that's coming from the off-season drama. You said 10?
Yeah.
Right? Like
10.
There's no way they go under 10 wins. They're going to win their division, they're going to get over 10 wins. Simple as that.
They're way better than any other team in their division. Like, they're going to feast and they're going to get a bunch of those easy wins.
Yeah.
Compared to the next 2 teams, which are both from the NFC West at 10.5, are the Rams and the 49ers.
Very interesting. That's a good number, 10.5, because they're probably going to be over 10. Probably both of them. Like, that's the race that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I can say over for both, but I can't even be like, this team's going to win the division. But I'll be like, yes, I want the Niners to win the West, but I don't know, man. Like, Matthew Stafford, I don't know.
I think, I'm going to say over for the Rams, under for the 49ers. And the reason for the 49ers is we saw with all the injuries they had last year what they were. And like, no team truly is fully healthy in a full NFL season. So I think every team's going to deal with injuries. And if Garoppolo is benched for Trey Lance, he's going to have like that kind of trial period where he's going to struggle a little bit. And if he doesn't get in, I don't think Garoppolo's really going to be what he was 2 years ago. So I just think there's too many question marks there for them to be an 11-win team. I like him like 9 or 10 wins.
I think we're going to see something from the 49ers this season that we haven't seen from a while, and that's flexibility in the quarterback position, right? Mm-hmm. If we see Trey Lance live up to his potential, right? And if we see Jimmy G even do decent, right? Like, Shanahan has options, right? There's a reason why, like, it's been a troll offseason from the Niners where it's like, I know who's going to start week 1, but I'm not going to tell you. Like, that's something that I'm like, we know it's Jimmy G, right? Like, we know that's the week 1 starter. But then once they figure out that we can do this system where we can use both of them as weapons, as, like, add more to the offense, it's going to be so good to see the 49ers play and definitely get more than 10.5. That's my prediction.
Right. And I can see them like doing great this year. I just think if I was like betting against them, I'd bet under.
Yeah.
I think that'd be just the safer bet. But I understand where you're coming from with them.
Yeah.
And then the final team we have is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 12.
Over.
Actually, I have them over too. What number do you think? I wonder if we're close.
14.
I think 15. I think they will be the best team, regular season team in the NFL.
I just think their division is not that good this season. Like the Saints have no they have like no competition to give to the Bucs this season. That I think that those are like free wins right there, coming from a Saints fan, which hurts to say because I don't really like Tom Brady, but yeah, 15-14 sounds about right.
Because even in like the NFC as a whole, like it's not as competitive as it once was. Like Tampa Bay is going to have a bunch of easy wins in their conference,
exactly,
compared to the AFC where there's a bunch of teams at the top, I think.
Yeah. All right. And that's it for over under. I mean, we're probably wrong on like half of those. Like it's going to be like a weird ass season where it's like anyone can win, but those numbers seem pretty fair.
Yeah, and with it being a 17 game season now, I think it's going to make it a little more interesting in the regular season because now so. Yeah,
that's an extra game that you have to that's an extra game that you have to prepare for.
And there's still 7 playoff teams.
Yeah,
a good segue into our next topic, which would be our playoff brackets. Mm-hmm. Do you have a playoff bracket, or are you going off?
I'm going to go off standing. Theo? I'm going to go off memory.
Okay.
We're going to go off memory.
So do you want me to start?
So we'll do 2 minutes for your AFC one, and then you can explain why. Uh-huh. Like you're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah. So we'll do 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
2 minutes for you. And you're ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. I'll start with number 7. I'm going to say the Dolphins get in as the 7 seed. They will play the Browns, who will be the 2 seed in the wild card round, which I have the Browns winning.
Okay.
The next one I have is the 6-seeded Chargers will play the 3rd-seeded Bills. And I'm going to predict the Bills still to win that game. I think Herbert goes in and they play well, but I think Buffalo is going to be a tough place to play in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then the last one I have is the Colts as the 4 seed facing the Ravens as the 5 seed. And I have the Ravens winning that one. Just because I think the Ravens are way better than the Colts, I think. And then so I have Chiefs, Browns, Bills, and Ravens in the second round, in the divisional round.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened last season, right?
I think
Chiefs, Browns, Bills, Ravens. Yeah.
This time it's Chiefs, Ravens. I'm gonna say Chiefs still beat the Ravens. I kind of want to say the Ravens will beat them, but I just don't see it happening. And then the Browns will beat the Bills. Mm-hmm. And then I think the Browns will beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl this year.
Interesting.
I think Mahomes and the Chiefs will not make 3 straight Super Bowls. Just because I think the Browns, their offense and defense is
coming.
Really
it's
low
up and coming.
Talent. And Baker Mayfield is the difference. And last year he had like a pretty decent season at quarterback. Imagine him having a incredible, like an MVP season. All right. How good would that team?
Exactly. No, that's what I feel like. That's what the league, like the fans of the league, have been looking for. Just like a Baker like breakout season. Like I don't know anyone who would be against that except for like maybe Steelers fans, but
yeah. I think everyone wants to see the Browns actually succeed.
Yeah. 100%.
Just be competitive.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to do my AFC then?
Do your AFC now.
Yeah.
I'll get the timer for you.
Yeah. All right.
2 minutes. AFC playoff breakdown. Mm-hmm. Go.
All right. So here's the difference for me. I have the Bills as the number 1 seed.
Okay.
I think I don't know, like if this doesn't match up with my over under earlier, that sucks. But I think the Bills will be the number 1 seed. But the Chiefs are still going to be the number 2. So it's going to be, we're going to have the Browns in there as the number 3 seed. Is a 3 seed. And then we'll have, let's see, who am I missing? I'm definitely missing someone. Yep, the Ravens as the 4. So, actually, no, that doesn't make sense because
they be the 5.
Yeah, they be the 5. Yeah, so
division winner.
I think the Titans and the Colts very, very close, but I still have the Titans going over for the AFC South there.
Okay.
So we have the Ravens as the 5, right? The Colts as the 6.
Okay.
And then we'll put, you know what? The Chargers, right? The Chargers are going to be a playoff team. 7, right? So then that means that it's going to be, oh my God, so we have the Browns as the 3. Did I say the Browns? No, the Browns is the 3. And wow, I'm already forgetting this. I need to write this down.
You had the Colts at 6. So
the Colts at 6. Browns, Colts. So we have the Browns winning that one. And then we got the Titans and it was the Titans and the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
So we got the Chargers winning that one.
Wait, no, it's Titans and Ravens you had.
Oh, it's Titans and Ravens? All right, so then that's Titans.
Yeah. Okay. And then Chiefs for Chargers.
Chiefs, Chargers. I have the Chargers winning that one.
Wow, okay.
I don't know why. I just do.
Okay.
So then we have bold takes. I know.
I want to write that one down just so I can come back to it at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. I do. So then second round, we have Bills, Chargers. I have the Bills winning that one. And we have the Browns versus Tennessee. So it's going to be the Browns. And then Browns and the Bills, I also have the Browns going to the Super Bowl.
I like how we agree with that one.
Yeah, we do agree with that one.
It's time for the Browns to make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
They're first. They've never been in the Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool for them to get it.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause the recording. All right. So that was for AFC. Right.
Yes.
I need to get my NFC bracket together. So you can start for that one. Yeah.
Perfect. I'll set my own timer too.
Yeah.
As you go for that. All right. Here we go.
Go ahead.
The number one seed, no surprise, it will be the Buccaneers, in my opinion. I think that one's pretty easy. So the first wild card matchup would be Packers as the 2 seed versus the Saints as the 7 seed.
Wow.
I think the Saints get in, and the only reason I have the Saints getting in, I only have 2 teams from the NFC West getting in, and that's because the division is so tight. I don't see that they're going to be so competitive that they're going to take wins away from each other.
You're so right.
I think they're going to take wins away from each other, and only 2 teams are going to get in. They're going to be really good, but only 2 are going to get in. So that's how the Saints sneak in at the end. So I have the Packers beating the Saints.
Okay.
Just because the Packers are on a mission this year. My next wildcard matchup is the Washington football team versus the 49ers. I like the football team. I am high on Ryan Fitzmagic to show his magic this year with the Washington football team. I really like this team. The 4-5 matchup will be Rams Cowboys, in my opinion. I think I'm going to go with the Cowboys on this one. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna say the Cowboys.
Okay.
I think now offense is gonna be a big deal, and they have a really good offense. They're gonna pass the ball. They're gonna have protection for Dak Prescott. My second round, Buccaneers versus Cowboys. I'll have the Bucs winning that one. Packers football team. I'm gonna have the football team beating the Packers.
Whoa!
And then yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait. And then Buccaneers versus football team in the NFC Championship game. A rematch. No, just wait. The Washington football team will play the Cleveland Browns in the Super Bowl. Oh my God. It will be one of the strangest matchups and the most unusual matchup you will ever see. The Cleveland Browns in their first Super Bowl facing a team without a name. Imagine telling someone this 5 years ago, saying that the Browns would be in the Super Bowl playing a team without a name. I'm telling you, Ryan Fitzmagic is I just have a feeling he found the right place, and I like the offense. I like the defense. I like Ron Rivera as a coach. I mean, he did a really good job with a terrible team last year, and I think they're way better this year. Again, this take is going to bite me in the butt.
It is.
But I just think,
but at least if the football team do make it to the Super Bowl, you can say you called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
The Washington football team.
Jeez. Okay, that was very. I'm just not expecting that out of you. But
no, it was an interesting one.
It was an interesting take. Yeah. All right, you ready for mine?
I'm ready.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Yeah. Starting now. Actually, wait. No. Let me get my own timer. All right. Okay. So I do also have the Bucs getting that first seed, just because, trash division, free wins, Tom Brady, all the above. I don't really care. Second seed, always Packers, of course. I have the 7th seed going to the Seahawks, just because I think I could agree with you that there will only be, like, did you say 2? You had 2 NFC West teams going into the playoffs, right?
Yes, I had 2.
Okay, so I have 3. So then leading me into the 3 seed, winning the West. It was very torn between the Niners and the Rams, but I still need to see what Matthew Stafford's going to do with the Rams. So I have the Niners going as the 3 seed, winning that division by a very slight margin.
Okay.
The 6th seed, I have the Cowboys making it to the playoffs because, someone has to. And then we have the football team with the 4th seed because NFC East, what a division. And then we have the Rams as the 5th seed. So fair enough, right?
Yeah,
so then we have Bucks. We have Bucks against. We're gonna say the Packers are gonna beat the Seahawks. As always, the Seahawks are gonna be a first round exit. We're gonna have the Niners and the Cowboys. We're gonna pick the Niners there.
That's a good matchup, Niners.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then we have the football team against the Rams. I can't look at you with a straight face just because you're not gonna pick the football team.
No, you're gonna pick the. Nah, I can't argue with you picking the Rams though.
Exactly.
But are you?
Huh? No, I'm not. I'm picking Washington.
Nice.
No, I'm picking Washington to win that matchup. And then we got the Bucs and the Packers and then the Niners and the football team. So we're gonna have. So that's the 2 minutes. We're gonna have the Packers and the Niners for the NFC Championship. And then I have the Packers and the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Okay. I was thinking.
Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah,
that sounds fair. Yeah. Yeah. So our special guest here says it sounds right. You were thinking Packers, but you just decided to go the football team route. I understand.
I think, and I'll get to why I think the Buccaneers aren't going to make the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think so.
In our next topic.
They are, yeah.
But it's between Packers and football team, in my opinion. Those are the 2 that I think will come out of the NFC.
Yeah.
I'd say those are my 2.
I think so too. I think you got that right. So.
Yeah. I think I got that much right.
They got that much right. So so then who do you have winning that Super Bowl with your Super Bowl?
Oh, right. Browns football team. As much as I want to say the Washington football team, I'm gonna go with the Browns.
There you go. All right. So we can have a consensus with that, but I do think that before Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, he needs to win another ring. So I have the Packers winning the Super Bowl.
Okay.
But it would be nice to see a Browns Super Bowl win. But that's definitely a Super Bowl that I want to watch right there. Browns Packers.
If the Browns are in the Super Bowl, like that's a must watch.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like America would be rooting for the Browns. I don't, except for like
that'd be an awesome Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm getting like some side opinions over here. It's really helpful to know if I'm like right or wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so take us to the next topic.
All right, next is who do we think is going to win the NFL MVP award?
I feel like we both have the same answer if we have the Browns going to the Super Bowl.
I don't have. Okay.
I just spoiled my answer, but go ahead.
I know. You guys start it now. You got to start it because I
already spoiled mine. I have Baker Mayfield winning the NFL MVP. I just think that with my prediction, he needs to have an MVP caliber season to like take the Browns to the Super Bowl. But I think it's very possible, like it. Okay. Right. It's definitely something that has been in the making and has been something that people want. Like people have been wanting to see that Baker breakout season. And it happened like near the second half of last season. And I think he's going to carry it onto this season and have that MVP caliber season. That's my take. Okay.
I like Baker for MVP. I like it. My prediction is not Baker, but I think he'll be in the discussion because his team's going to be really good. My pick for MVP is going to be Tom Brady. And this gets into why I think the Buccaneers aren't going to make this. Here's why.
I got to relay. He said Tom Brady for MVP.
Hold on. I think he has the most weapons on his team. He has Antonio Brown. Like people forget Antonio Brown is still on the Buccaneers. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, of course. He's got the running backs. He's got Rob Gronkowski still there. He's got a top 10 defense. I think they're going to be a 15-win team. And if you're a 15-win team and you put up numbers like 40 touchdowns and 4,000 yards, like you're going to be in the MVP conversation. And I think he's going to get it. And the reason why I say he's going to get it is that's why he's not going to make the Super Bowl. Any year that Tom Brady wins MVP, he doesn't win the Super Bowl. I think
you're right.
If I do my math correctly, like when his success individually is good, he doesn't have that much team success. So I think that's why I see him having an MVP season, but the team doesn't win it in the end.
Okay, I like that take. Yeah. Tom Brady winning MVP, Bucs not winning the Super Bowl. You have to pick one, right?
Yeah. I think he'll have the numbers to win it.
100%.
And he'll be in the discussion, just like Baker. Both of those guys will be top 3.
Yeah. All right. And then the final NFL topic that we have is what team is there to watch out for this season? Like just 2 minutes, defend your team. Give me your team and then defend it. Or maybe teams, right?
Team?
Yeah, teams. Right. It could be teams. But we're going to do 2 minutes starting now.
All right. Well, you obviously know what team I'm going to defend first is the Washington football team. I think too many people are not giving this team enough credit to them be like an actual like top team in the NFC.
Yes.
That's why I think this team is going to be a top team in the NFC. And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick's career has brought him to this point where it's a team that's like kind of coming together. And it's the right pieces. It may not be the most talented pieces, but like Antonio Gibson is expected to break out. Terry McLaurin is expected to break out. Even Logan Thomas is expected to break out. And if those guys do, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to feed him, and they're going to have a field day on offense because he's a Harvard guy. He's smart. He knows he's going to get the ball where he needs to. And I think that's why this team is going to have so much success, is because last year, as great of a story as Alex Smith was, he still didn't play. When he was playing, he was great, but he still didn't play late in the year. So I think just having Fitzpatrick at quarterback is going to help this team tremendously. And because the defense and the offense is going to get better, I just see them having a great year this year, being a surprise team.
All right. Well, I agree with all those points. I definitely think that just because they're coming from a division like the NFC East, people tend to overlook how good the football team could get, right? And how good quotes they were last season, winning the division.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a respectable winning the division, but I think that that's like something to watch out for this season. But, real quick, 3 seconds left. My team to watch out for is the Chargers. Like I said, they're probably not going to win the division, but they are going to give the Chiefs a run for their money. And that's something that people want to see. People want to see the Chiefs be dethroned. It's a long time coming. But yeah, I think that's my team to watch out for this season.
Yeah, I think both of those teams are going to have like big years.
Yeah.
Because last year they showed flashes of greatness and they showed those moments. And I think they're both in better situations this year. So they should be both good. All
right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to baseball, because the baseball season is still going on. A lot of things
coming to a close pretty soon.
Yeah.
We're at September baseball.
We're going to bring in a special guest. Some of you probably know him. Some of you probably don't. I don't even think Tommy remembers him, but please welcome Mr. Garrett Novak, baseball expert. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. He's the best baseball expert we could find at Long Beach, so that's all we got. So we're just gonna get some takes from you as our baseball analyst here at 2 Minute Warning. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about our first topic. You probably know how it's gonna go. 2 minutes to give. I mean, we're gonna have 2 minutes to just like talk about it, give our takes. Cool, awesome. So, Tommy, our first topic. A very entertaining series just ended between the two best teams in baseball, the Giants and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately are in the same division. It sucks, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened. Let's talk about what's gonna happen, what our predictions are. So 2 minutes, ready, and go.
It's crazy to think that the Giants would be where they are right now. I mean, they are right on par with the Dodgers, and you could argue that they are a more talented team than the Dodgers, or a more complete team, which is crazy because look at how many players the Dodgers have. And like they're right around the same. I think both of those teams will. And who knows, one of those teams might not even make it to the divisional series this year, which is just upsetting because these are the two best teams in baseball and we might not see them play another game this year. This was the final regular season series, which just... I
mean, I just think that it sucks. For me, what sucks is that if one team was to make it out of the wild card, which the other team will probably make it out of the wild card, it's a 5-game series, not a 7-game series.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem. Look at that. Another special guest. But I think that the problem, we can actually get your opinion on this. But I think a very important part with that is like, that's the last time they're going to play each other in the regular season. Like, we're not going to see any more of that. We're not going to see any more like last out plays trying to like reach over the net, or like the Giants walking it off because Will Smith wasn't stepping on the bag. Like, like those exciting rivalry moments. So I think that's what we're going to miss out on the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Novak, any takes on that?
I've got to speak into the mic. Okay. I'm really surprised the Giants are where they are, first of all.
Everyone is.
Super surprised. So many rebound seasons from Belt to Longoria to up-and-comers like Lamont Wade Jr., outstanding seasons of the bullpen from McGee, Desclafani in the rotation, absolutely insane season by him. But I think I'm going to have to give the edge to the Dodgers at the end of the year, and I hope they both make it to the initial round, but I think the Dodgers will edge them out.
Interesting. All right. Good take. Well, do you want to get in on this? I know you do.
Yeah, I'm good.
I know you don't?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, my roommate just came in, and he's from here, so you would think like a Dodger perspective, but he's just going to be like, F the Giants, go Dodgers. But yeah. Now we're going to move on to the next topic, which I don't want to talk about.
I don't want to either.
So let's just skip it. No, I'm not.
We can't skip it. We got to deal
We have to talk about it. We have to talk about it. You can set it up. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. The Oakland Athletics had a very heartbreaking weekend.
Not even weekend, just week.
Well, I mean, the Tigers series was decent enough.
Except for that one game.
Except for the one game. So, I mean, you can kind of... And then the Yankees... I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
These were very disappointing. Have been very disappointing lately. Yeah. And a lot of it is not on the offense, surprisingly enough. The offense has been great down the stretch, but the bullpen has been horrific. To say the least. I wish we could look at the numbers and what the bullpen ERA has been the past week, but it's...
We have our baseball analyst for that. He's on it.
Yeah, you got to find that because it's probably...
Right, so we're going to do 2 minutes on whatever the heck that is.
The A's bullpen is struggling.
All right, 2 minutes starting now. I just think that the beginning of the season, I was like, oh my God, yes, Lou Trevino, closer, woo! Right, like we probably had the same reaction to the beginning of the season, right? But then when he started slumping, I'm like, oh, everyone has their slumps. He's probably gonna get better. He even got how long was that rest? A week when he didn't pitch, right? Comes back, loads the bases. It's like those types of things where it's like, do we want to win? Are we tanking? It's those questions that arise for me where it's like, what does Bob Melvin have to see to not put Lou Trevino in those types of situations?
I think the issue is there's no one on the bullpen right now that you could put in those situations.
You're right. No, you are right.
Because I remember the Blue Jays game on Friday when Lou, loaded the bases and then Yusmeiro gave up the grand slam and then they were winning in the top of the ninth by 2 runs and Romo came in. I was like, okay, Romo's going to, figure this out. And then he gave up 2 base runners and then a 3-run homer to walk it off to Marcus Semien of all people. Which
I just think that was the moment where I was like, can we just keep our starter in? Sean Manaea pitched 7 great innings.
Yeah.
Can you just let him finish the game, get 3 more earned runs and we still win the game? It's those moments where, do we need to use a bullpen? Yeah, I know we do, but I don't have the faith anymore. So, All right, baseball analyst.
Well, as an Angels fan, I can totally understand not having faith in the bullpen. I completely understand that. I've been feeling that for the past few years. And so the stats I found is in the past 14 games, the A's bullpen ERA is a 6.92.
Yeah,
the A's have lost 13 of their last 19, and the overall staff ERA is a 5.6.
Oh, God. Well, thank you, baseball analyst.
That's not good.
That made me even more depressed. Oh, my God. That's so bad.
Man.
We've had trash bullpens in the past, but this is bad.
It is.
This is we were in the first wild card spot, and then our bullpen made us 4.5 games behind bad.
Yes.
You want to be competitive, but you can't, right?
the offense has been so good lately, and you would think that the bullpen would like be able to hold some of these leads, but they can't even hold a 6-run lead anymore.
Exactly.
It's getting that bad.
All right. Well, enough with that topic. Next, we're going to 2 minutes on the Padres. What are they going to make the playoffs? What's happening? That's it. 2 minutes on the Padres. Go.
Okay. Currently they're in it, and from the beginning, I've said like the Padres are going to be a playoff team this year. And the only thing that's kind of changed from that is how good the Giants have been. That's been the shocker. Everyone was going into the season saying Padres-Dodgers was going to be the big rivalry, but it's now Giants-Dodgers this season for the NL West. So the Padres are on the outside looking in, but they easily, in a one-game scenario, could beat a team like the Giants or the Dodgers. And then they could, and knowing that they played them in the division, they're still a really loaded team on offense. And I think the pitching staff and their bullpen has been struggling. I mean, I looked at some stats on Yu Darvish, and since the, the sticky stuff was banned, June? Like, he's been terrible since then. And that was something that kind of was eye-opening. But, the Padres, I think they will make the playoffs, and they could be a team that knocks the Dodgers or Giants out of the wild card game.
Interesting take. I just lost faith with the Padres when they started to drop off, but I still think that they will claim that second wild card spot, and I want them to, even though how entertaining would it be for the Reds to make it? But why would you root for the Reds? I don't know. You want, I feel like people want the Padres to make it just because, but they need to step it up into high gear and actually start winning more games, just because there was a point in the season where they were only 2 games behind the Giants and the Dodgers, and now they're 15 or something like that. It's pretty far.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 15 and a half, 13 and a half. So then that's a pretty bad stretch in the season. They had a pretty bad stretch in the season where they just fell off. Any takes on the Padres?
I think the Reds don't have enough to get past the Padres, and I think the Padres are coming out of their little slumber. They're going to wake up a little bit, sneak in with a few game lead, and then probably lose in the wild card to either the Giants or the Dodgers. Good take.
That's fair.
All right. Next topic is rivalries in the playoffs. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the Giants and the Dodgers, but then there's also the Yankees and the Red Sox, who are probably gonna can you believe that the wild card is gonna be probably just division matchups? That's kind of crazy to me. So we're just gonna talk about that for 2 minutes real quick. Starting off with the Giants and the Dodgers. Like I said earlier, I can't believe that that's the potential is that it's only going to be a 5-game series, right? Which sucks, because you want that. If baseball had a 16-team bracket, you would want the Giants and the Dodgers in the World Series together, which is that's the pinnacle. Just watching that 3-game series this weekend was so entertaining that I was why I need more of this. Right, this is the last time I'm going to see this in the regular season. But with the Yankees and the Red Sox, I couldn't really care less. Whoever wins that is probably going to lose to the Rays. I don't that's just what I think. But yeah,
it's super interesting to see both wildcard games potentially will be division matchups, and then in the divisional series, they will play one of those teams will play the division winner. And the Dodgers, Dodgers, Padres, Giants, all 3 of those teams are really good. And I think it really is a slight to baseball that you're going to have probably the most marketable matchups, Giants, Dodgers, and Yankees, Red Sox, early in the playoffs. And that's a lot of lost revenue, because imagine if those teams played 7-game series, it would just really help baseball be a more popular sport and make a lot more money.
Exactly.
because people would be more interested in those kinds of matchups.
Like NBA playoffs last for like months.
Yeah.
Right. Like, but then baseball playoffs, it's like they market it as October baseball, and it just lasts for a month. Right. Like, I feel like you need more than that to get people actually like paying attention to the playoffs, and because like like there are people that just watch baseball when it's the playoffs, but if it's only like a month, then
you could easily do a month and a half to 2.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed the wild card series last year. And I think I like the 18 playoff the most. I think 16's too much. I think.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. 8 teams. Yeah.
Which brings us to our next topic, which is, should it be a wild card series or game? I feel like this is like a consensus answer. So we'll do 2 minutes right now. But then, why? Like why? Why should it be a wild card series, or why should it be a wild card game?
Because unlike football, we've got a rotation. You've got one quarterback. In baseball, you've got a rotation. There's multiple guys that got you there, not just one man on the offense.
Exactly.
And I think you can throw your one ace out there, but I think it's really important to see the whole value of the entire roster all at once. So you get all 3 of your best starters out there. If one team only has 1 good starter, 2 mediocre, and the other has 3 solid, they take it 2-1. I think that's really important to see the entire roster a little longer, because one game, anything can happen. I think it shows a little more who the best team is through 3 instead of 1.
It's mainly gonna take my job. Everything that he said. I mean, like, he's so right about the rotation thing, because like it's been tough. Just like the wild card game is pretty new. Like, it's been what 7 years, 8 years since it's been established.
Started in 2012.
So 9 years.
Yes.
Yeah. So like it's pretty new, where it could still be changed. It's not like a tradition where baseball people are very, very obsessed with tradition, where like this can still be changed. This can still be made into a wild card series, which we've already seen last year, right? Like we saw how much better that was than the A's losing all the time in the wild card game.
Yeah.
Like, as an A's fan, we've seen it happen many times and have wondered, what if there was more than one game, right?
I just don't like the fact that in baseball you play 162 games, and then for some teams it all doesn't matter because it's one game.
Yeah.
Just to like get into the divisional series.
Yeah. For
some of those teams, like you just one game, and the Yankees have a guy like Garrett Cole they could throw in, but a team like the Red Sox or maybe even the Mariners. Do the Mariners have, if they made the playoffs and faced the Yankees in the wild card, do they have a guy who could face Garrett Cole in one game? No. Even the A's, like, they don't have a guy who could face a guy like that.
Yeah. It has to be like I like the idea of like a long fought series, right? And if you're going to do a wild card series, might as well make the division series a 7-game series. So those are just like some changes that need to be made. And speaking of changes, another segue to another change that people are pushing for, which is the universal DH. But also some people don't like the idea. So let's get your opinions on it. 2 minutes on, should the MLB adopt the universal DH? Go.
Because I was watching the Giants-Dodgers series a lot this weekend, it made me realize how dumb like the NL is for not having a DH. Because basically teams are going in to like that 8-hitter has to do something or else the pitcher's going to come up to bat. And like everyone's like, it's an easy out, it's an easy out. And it always is. Never have I seen a pitcher go into an at-bat and like expect to get a hit. You're never expecting a pitcher to get a hit. And I think that's the problem.
That's an anomaly.
That's not the...
I can't hear you, Theo.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
We were talking about how like we can always just make the excuse of Shohei Ohtani, but then that's not.
But he plays.
Max Fried. We were talking about this yesterday.
Ranky, Bad Bum.
But those are like there's a reason why MLB markets pitchers who rake, because it's rare.
Yeah. But like if those guys want to hit, they can. I think the universal DH, like, it's just an option because, you know, teams are just throwing in pinch hitters all the time. And with more teams doing bullpen games, it just leads to like so many changes and stuff like that.
Okay, how bad is this mic?
No, it's good. I can hear you.
Is this worse than the first one?
No, it's like right around.
Okay, well, this is this one. But yeah, so I'm all for it. Like it makes sense, right? Like if the universal DH was a thing, we could see Shohei bat when they're playing a National League team, right? Like that's something that we want to see. But yeah, what's your take on this? I mean, that's pretty.
I think absolutely. I mean, you take a pitcher out, you put in a real major league ready hitter, you instantly make the game 10% more watchable, 10% more enjoyable. That's a ninth of the order that's got a chance to actually hit the ball somewhere and make something happen. Whereas you're probably just going to get a sac bunt or a strikeout 90% of the time with a pitcher.
Awesome.
It just makes the pitchers more focused on pitching.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to worry about going to the plate and potentially injuring themselves in something that isn't pitching, which would suck.
Yeah. All right, we're nearing the end of this episode, but we do have to talk about the NBA. So you can stay on for the NBA segment. We can even get Mr. Ryan over here because the first topic is very up his alley. So we're going to move on to the NBA, and we're going to talk about one of the biggest teams in the offseason so far, and just one of the biggest teams in general, the Lakers. Of course, they're always in the conversation. They're always doing something, right? And just, again, like it was like yesterday, 2 days ago, DeAndre Jordan gets traded to the Pistons?
Pistons.
Yes, he gets traded to the Pistons. And then, of course, he gets bought out and somehow ends up with the Lakers, right? Like that seems to be the theme with the Lakers nowadays. So let's talk about what the Lakers have been doing. So 2 minutes on that, starting now.
I mean, the Lakers continue to get older. That's just what they've been doing. They are, they only have like two guys under 30, I think.
Yeah.
It's like THT, Kendrick Nunn, and I think that's it. They are in, is that true?
That's it.
How 80's under 30. Yeah,
80's under 30.
80's under 30.
That's
I don't consider AD.
But no, AD's been in his prime for a while.
So. I don't consider AD a youngin.
No.
Let's get a research team on this. How old is Anthony? 28.
Okay.
In the prime.
He's right in his prime.
In the prime while also getting hurt. So, I mean, that's also very unfortunate.
Yeah, but they're in win now mode. It's weird that DeAndre Jordan would leave the Nets to go to the Lakers, though.
Yeah. Well, doesn't everyone want? I mean, I don't think his plan was to get traded from the Nets. Like, I don't think that was part of the plan. Or do you think it was?
It's just weird that like it just happened because like the Nets, we know the Nets and the Lakers are the two favorites to go to the finals, and like DeAndre Jordan was traded and then he goes right to the Lakers. Who knows what his role even is going to be on the Lakers?
How much better does it really to make the Lakers?
It does.
That's always. That's been the question this offseason. Like every move they make, how much better does this make the Lakers?
If anything, it hurts like spacing even more.
Yeah, I feel like of all things, like the one move that actually made me say this makes the Lakers better was Carmelo Anthony. Even though he's old, we saw what he did for the Blazers, and
yeah.
You know, he can come off the bench and do that. Like that's what got me. But I think a DeAndre Jordan signing isn't like a big deal to me as much as the media is making it. You know, like it's just, oh my God, DeAndre Jordan. Oh my God, Lakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do we have any takes on what the Lakers are going to do this season? Let's get in on this.
Yeah.
Please welcome Ryan Ching to the podcast.
Woo!
Big time Lakers fan.
Big time Lakers
fan.
Personally, I think the Lakers got what they needed this offseason. Last season,
What exactly did they need?
I think they needed a bigger presence down low, which they lost with JaVale last season, and cutting DeMarcus Cousins. So they got DeAndre Jordan, who's not going to play probably more than like 15 minutes a game. He's not there to score like 20. He's there for purely rebounding and rim protection. What's the get?
Well, you got Dwight Howard back.
Dwight Howard back is huge. I think he was a big part in their finals win. Malik Monk, an insane three-point shooter. The Lakers need a three-point shooter. They couldn't make a three to save their life last season. Melo can shoot threes. Kendrick Nunn's a good three-point shooter. THT can pull it sometimes.
So why do we think the Lakers needed Rondo?
I think the Lakers
is he like a Schroeder like compensation type thing?
I think Schroeder wasn't as good as a playmaker as Rondo was. Obviously, he's more of like a scorer.
Yeah.
Having Rondo on the team kind of cuts down LeBron's need to always have to make the play. THT is a good ball handler, but he's not nearly as good of a playmaker as LeBron is. And at times, like, they rely on THT at the end of the game. If LeBron was handling the ball, it'd be THT, and he just had to make the play himself. And he's only like 21 now, which is pretty crazy that he has that responsibility. But I think Rondo back is like huge for Lakers.
I think that was also a huge move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. So like getting all these old smaller guys, like good for them. Like build the roster back up because he traded half of it away. But the Rondo and the Melo moves to me were the most impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it strengthens up that last 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That your stars aren't going to be on the court the most.
Yeah. Because I feel like, can you confirm this for me as like a Lakers fan? Were you always like scared what would happen when LeBron and AD left the floor?
Yes, I was.
Yeah. So then, right?
Like, there was just no other scoring.
Exactly. But now you have options.
There's guys off the bench that can put up like 20 a game. So on their good bench nights. Like on the Lakers, like no one would really do that. No one had the like ability to put up 20 off the bench if they really needed to in like a really close game. Like no one could do that. The only people that score more than 15 were the starters. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for the take, Mr. Lakers expert right here. All right. Well, you could also give an input on this next topic because we only have 2 NBA topics for today, which the next one, very interesting. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons for 2 minutes because the last episode we talked about Ben Simmons for 2 minutes and I was very upset about it. But now I'm going to be even more upset about it because we're going to talk 2 minutes about Ben Simmons and I'm going to start off. We're 2 minutes starting now. I don't want him on the Warriors. I don't care whatever team he goes on, just not the Warriors. And I'm hearing a lot of like Warriors. And then I'm seeing so many things that's like, the Warriors haven't even inquired about Ben Simmons, right? And that makes me happy. That literally just makes me so filled with joy hearing that the Warriors do not give 2 craps about Ben Simmons. So that's all I have for that. But you can go ahead and talk about Ben Simmons.
It's weird because Philadelphia wants him out.
He wants out.
He wants out. Philadelphia doesn't want him anymore. And he's already said he wants to go to California. But do the Lakers want him?
Why does he get to choose that?
No.
What?
Do the Clippers? No, the Lakers don't want him. The Clippers don't want him. The
Kings are going to have to give up either Halliburton or Fox for him.
The Kings actually could make a good play on him if they really wanted him. But I don't know. I don't think Kings fans want Ben Simmons, though.
I just think the Sixers are asking for too much.
Well, they asked for Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, apparently. That was the rumor.
We got more visitors.
More?
We got more visitors. Hey, yo! Welcome to the podcast. Look, it's Tommy.
Oh, come in here.
Cole's also here. Look, it's a whole party.
What's up?
All right, we're almost done here. We're roasting Ben Simmons. You want to get in on this?
Ben Simmons isn't a real NBA player. He has talent level of an all-star that has the work ethic of me on a Sunday evening.
Well, no, that's the thing, right? Like, if Ben Simmons, like he used to be able to shoot, right?
Yeah,
and then he brought his self-confidence down, and now he can't. So I think a new team would be the move for him, but it's just like, where? No, I don't want him.
Right?
Where's a realistic place for him to go?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. What's a realistic place for him to go?
honestly, I don't know.
Like, I don't want to see him in Sacramento either, because like that's also a waste of talent.
I would say the only way if Damian Lillard wants out of Portland could make a move for Ben Simmons, and I think both teams could easily like make that work. I think, but that's the only way I see either side making a trade.
Ryan, any other teams? I just can't think of any. I mean, Portland does sound good, but like, why would they pull that trigger? I don't know.
Unless Damian Lillard like wants out and is not going to play.
I just don't think he fits a lot of NBA teams now.
No,
Exactly.
unless he shoots the ball.
Not the Warriors of all teams. Like, that's like the least.
What about the Timberwolves and you get rid of D'Angelo because they have a stretch five?
I was thinking that as well. But the problem with the Timberwolves is people go to that team and they start playing worse. So
they do make people work. So it's true. It's true. But there was like a trade package that I saw for the Timberwolves, and I was like, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to look more into that, but that one does make sense. So maybe, but if you're Ben Simmons, you don't get to choose where you go. You can't be like, I want to go to California, when none of the California teams would want you, right?
No one.
You can't just do that.
On him.
All right. Well, that's it for Ben Simmons. One last topic for today. You put this on here, so you talk about this.
Do you know about the sport of
Yes,
goalball?
I do. But yes, I do know about the sport. I saw a lot about the sport.
I just think it's like one of the coolest sports I've seen, and I didn't know it was a Paralympic sport at first.
Goalball. Are you guys familiar with goalball?
No.
So it's like, so basically, it's for visually impaired athletes.
They're literally like wearing like
blindfolds.
Like,
Yeah, so they're wearing blindfolds or like a mask so they can't see, and it's 3 players, and it's on like a volleyball court, and there's a goal on each side, and then one team has the ball and they have to throw or roll the ball underhand, and then since no one can see, they have to like hear the ball bounce or like feel the vibrations, and they have to block the ball from getting in the goal.
there were
That sounds pretty cool.
pretty cool clips that I saw. It was just like, at first I was like, huh? Like, why are they wearing blindfolds? And I was like, oh wait, this is the Paralympics. Got it. But then after that I was like, wait, this is like kind of cool, because like they're using all the other senses besides sight.
Which is what people rely on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Paralympics did a good job of doing these, because like I saw like a bunch of sports like sitting volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like wheelchair basketball is like what I knew about the Paralympics, but all these other sports I was like, these are pretty cool.
It's kind of like goalball was cool because you can have, blind athletes play with seeing athletes,
Exactly.
but like be at the same level because everyone's blindfolded. So I think that was just like a cool thing that like no one is truly out of their element, or like no one's like at a disadvantage in that sport because no one can see.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you to all our guests. Thank you for the expert analysis. We got a lot of expert analysis today because I could not function. But yeah, thanks for listening or watching, guys. Thanks for coming to our first remote Zoom, I guess, podcast episode. Thanks to Tommy. Thanks to Garrett. Thanks to Ryan. Thanks to also Garrett. Cole and Mark were also here on research team. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Be sure to what do we say again? Smash a like.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe. All of those
podcasts.
all those fun things. Yeah. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.
Peace out, guys.